Chosen one, your glow is louder than words. Your presence is shaking rooms before you even open your mouth. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Your light is not just attracting love, it's exposing every hidden enemy that thought they could walk unnoticed around you. People you trusted, people who smiled in your face, people who whispered, "I'm proud of you," they're being forced into the open because your glow is pulling masks straight off their faces. Pause for a moment and hit that like button if you already feel this deep in your spirit, because what I'm about to say will confirm everything you've been sensing but couldn't put into words. You see, there comes a point in the life of the chosen when the glow becomes undeniable. It's not just beauty. It's not just success. It's not even about money or status. It's spiritual fire. It's an energy that announces you even in silence. You walk into a room and conversations shift. You enter a space and people start whispering. Not because you did anything, just because you are. That's the power of divine selection. And with that glow comes exposure. Your glow is like a divine spotlight. It illuminates what people tried to keep hidden. Those friends who cheered when you were low but roll their eyes now that you're rising. Those family members who said they wanted the best for you, but secretly prayed you'd never surpass them. Those coworkers, neighbors, or even strangers who act kind to your face but are drenched in envy when they think you're not looking. The glow makes them visible. They can't hide anymore. And this is why, chosen one, you feel that shift around you. People you never harmed suddenly show their fangs. People who once hugged you now pull away cold. You hear your name in conversations you were never part of. You start to notice side eyes, sudden silence when you enter the room. Tension in the air you can't explain. That's not paranoia. That's revelation, because your glow is not just light, it's truth. Truth has a way of making the counterfeit uncomfortable. And right now, your spiritual elevation is forcing every hidden enemy to expose themselves. But here's the shocking part. Not every enemy is far away. Some of them are close. Closer than you'd want to believe. Sometimes the ones clapping the loudest for you in public are the ones secretly wishing for your downfall in private. Sometimes the one checking on you every day is not checking on you out of love, but to measure how close you are to your breakthrough. Your glow doesn't just expose strangers, it reveals intentions, and that revelation can hurt. Have you noticed how lately your spirit has grown sensitive? How you can read energy faster than ever before? How one look, one sentence, one shift in tone tells you everything about a person? That's no accident. That's God sharpening your discernment. Because when the glow intensifies, the snakes start moving and you need the vision to recognize them before they strike. Don't ignore that feeling. Don't dismiss that nudge. When someone's words sound sweet but your spirit feels uneasy, trust it. That unease is protection. It's God whispering, "This one's not for you." Now let me ask you something bold. Why do you think the enemy tried so hard to dim your light in the past? Why do you think you went through seasons of isolation, betrayal, depression, or loss? It wasn't random. It was strategy. The enemy knew that if you ever stood fully in your glow, the truth would radiate so strongly it would expose every dark corner. So they tried to break you before you got here. But guess what? They failed. And now here you are, walking proof that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Your enemies can't stand it, because everything they used to destroy you only became fuel for your glow. That pain, that betrayal, that loss, that loneliness, it didn't bury you, it built you. And now that your light is shining, they can't even pretend anymore. But listen carefully, because this is where it gets real. Your glow doesn't just expose your enemies, it exposes them to themselves. When they look at you, they don't just see you, they see their own reflection. Your glow reminds them of what they could have been if they hadn't chosen envy, bitterness, or laziness. Your glow reveals their lack of growth. It forces them to confront the fact that while you chose discipline, they chose distraction. While you chose faith, they chose fear. While you kept building, they kept gossiping. And that truth burns. That's why they act strange around you. That's why they throw shade. That's why they pretend not to notice your growth. It's not because you did them wrong. It's because you became the mirror they can't escape. But here's the twist. Your glow isn't just exposing them, it's protecting you. Every person that falls away during this season is being divinely removed. Every relationship that feels uncomfortable now is being sifted. Every hidden enemy that reveals themselves is proof that God is clearing your path for something greater. You're not losing people. You're gaining clarity. Now think about this. Why is it that your glow exposes enemies but also draws in destiny helpers? Because light attracts both moths and messengers. Some are drawn to you because they see opportunity to drain you. Others are drawn because they see destiny in you. Your job is to discern the difference. And that's where your spiritual maturity comes in. This glow you carry, chosen one, it's not just for you. It's for the mission you've been assigned to. That's why you can't hide it. That's why you can't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. That's why no matter how much you try to stay low-key, you're still noticed. Because chosen ones don't blend in. They stand out by design. And that standing out, it's shaking the enemy's kingdom. Every time you rise, someone with a hidden agenda gets restless. Every time you grow, someone with secret envy feels smaller. Every time you shine, someone in the shadows feels exposed. That's not coincidence, it's warfare, and I need you to grasp this. The glow is not a burden, it's a weapon. The very light they hate is the same light that keeps you safe, because when enemies are exposed, they can't touch you the same way. They can't move in silence anymore. They can't pretend to be your friend while plotting your downfall. The glow forces their hands, and once revealed, their power is broken. So don't fear the exposure. Don't fear the shifting. Don't fear the sudden distance. That's not rejection, it's protection. It's confirmation that your glow is doing its job. But there's another level to this. And it's one most chosen ones don't realize until it's too late. Your glow doesn't just reveal enemies, it awakens enemies. People who never thought twice about you before will suddenly feel threatened just because you're walking in your light. People who barely noticed you will suddenly carry jealousy. Why? Because light disrupts darkness and your very existence becomes a challenge to their comfort zone. And this is where your greatest test comes in. Will you dim yourself to keep the peace? Or will you keep shining knowing that your glow is meant to disrupt, to expose, to separate, and to elevate? Because chosen one, the glow isn't temporary. It's permanent. And the brighter you get, the more the truth will be revealed around you. And now, let me take you deeper into what happens next, what your glow is about to set in motion, and why the enemy is scrambling harder than ever before. Your glow is about to make the enemy panic, and when the enemy panics, they get sloppy. They start doing things they never would have done when they were cautious. They call old favors, they spread half-truths, they amplify tiny mistakes like they're proof of failure. They rush to fill silence with rumors. They recruit quiet voices into loud campaigns. Watch closely. Panic always reveals strategy, and strategy always reveals weakness. Stay alert, not fearful, just aware. Your job isn't to fight every battle. It's to recognize the ones worth fighting. Some attacks are bait, some exposures are tests from the divine, to see if you'll keep your integrity when everyone else looks away. Pause for a second, and if this is hitting home, hit that like button now. Let the spirit in you confirm it. There are 3 things the exposed enemy will try first: distraction, deception, and defamation. Distraction looks like noise, social media storms, manufactured crises, sudden urgent needs that were never there before. Deception looks like over-polished apologies, fake humility, or attempts to buy your silence with false kindness. Defamation looks like whispers that smear your character, stories that bend the truth just enough to confuse people who love you. Know them by their pattern. If it's loud but shallow, it's distraction. If it's smooth but inconsistent, it's deception. If it's toxic and repetitive, it's defamation. Do not respond to every provocation. The loudest thing you can do is remain consistent. The most piercing defense is integrity over reaction. When you react to a manufactured storm, you validate it. When you stay calm, you drain its oxygen. When you refuse to engage with petty tactics, those tactics collapse under their own ugliness. That doesn't mean you stay passive. It means you choose your battles and win them strategically. Now let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries are not coldness. They are sacred armor. When your glow forces enemies out into the open, set clear lines. What you will accept, what you will not tolerate, and what you will escalate. Speak truth without rage. Remove access without shame. Protect your time, your energy, and your peace like a steward guards holy ground. Remember, setting a boundary is a sign of spiritual maturity, not vengeance. You are not shutting people out because you're bitter. You're creating space for destiny to move freely. There will be people who beg and plead to stay because they want the benefits of being near you without the cost of being changed. They'll offer loyalty on their terms. They'll promise allegiance as long as it's convenient. Don't confuse proximity with loyalty. Proximity is a position. Loyalty is a covenant. Let proximity be earned through consistent character. Let loyalty be proven by sacrifice, not by smiles. The glow exposes both, let it also refine your standards. Here's a powerful truth. Some enemies will rebrand themselves. They'll try to come back with new language, softer tones, and staged remorse. Don't be fooled. The true test of repentance is sustained behavioral change, not press-release humility. Give people space to change, but don't let their apologies erase your memories. Forgiveness is a heart matter. Restoration is a process. You can forgive and still maintain distance until evidence proves transformation. Now I want to pull you into a different arena, prophetic strategy. Your glow is a signal flare to destiny helpers. For every enemy who revealed himself, there will be 2 allies who step forward. These are the people who don't clap for you because it's trendy. They step into your process because they see the assignment on your life. They will bring resources you didn't know existed, doors you didn't know were open, and confirmations that line up so exactly you'll know God is moving. Pay attention to those who show up in quiet ways. The text at 2 a.m., the unexpected check, the person who defends you when no one else will. These are not coincidences. They are alignment. But with allies come tests. Sometimes helpers teach you more by disagreeing with you than by agreeing. Some of them will call you out on choices because they love the mission more than your ego. Receive correction. Celebrate counsel. Choose counsel over comfort. Your glow will attract pastors, mentors, and serious players, but it will also attract charlatans wearing the robes of wisdom. Verify. Test. Pray. Let your inner discernment be your filter. Spiritual disciplines now become operational tools. Prayer, fasting, silence, and meditation are not just religious acts. They are strategic resets. When your environment gets loud, go quiet. When your enemies amplify your intimacy with the source. Spend hours not trying to justify yourself, but asking for clarity. Speak less into the noise and more into the vision. Declare your boundaries in prayer. Write prophetic decrees. Journal the confirmations. The more anchored you are spiritually, the less the enemy's exposure rattles you. There will be moments of loneliness. That loneliness isn't a punishment, it's a preparation. In the solitude, you'll meet the deeper parts of yourself that your old circle never saw. You'll learn who you are without applause. You'll rehearse your destiny in the silence. Embrace it. Some seasons will feel like abandonment, but they are actually elevation. The light often stretches you beyond the capacity of previous relationships, so that new, stronger covenants can form. Now, practical tactics. Protect your brand, your message, and your reputation. Archive your work. Keep records. When defamation comes, the truth is your strongest asset, but the truth needs documentation. Keep timestamps, save conversations, and be ready to let your integrity speak in evidence if necessary. Use wise legal counsel when the lies become coordinated. Spiritual warfare is real, but practical wisdom is how you win on earth. And finally, this is non-negotiable. Never allow the exposure of enemies to harden your heart. The glow refines you, not ruins you. Let every revealed enemy be a classroom, not a tomb. Let pain be your teacher. Let betrayal be the fertilizer for your fruitfulness. When you become bitter, you block blessings. When you become better, you multiply them. Choose better. Choose mercy without naivety. Choose elevation without arrogance. Right now, as your glow continues to expose the hidden, imagine the final scene. You standing on a higher ground, unshakable, surrounded not by those who fawned, but by those who fought with you, prayed for you, and believed in what only you could carry. The enemies. They're visible, impotent, and no longer in your way. The helpers? Present, equipped, and aligned. The prize? A life that matches your calling, not because the world crowned you, but because you were faithful in the refining fire. Hold that vision. Protect your peace. Keep shining. And prepare, because what the exposure clears out will make room for a destiny so large it will demand your courage, your humility, and your highest surrender. Chosen one, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you is not just advice. It's a divine protocol for navigating this season of exposure. You see, your glow doesn't only reveal who's against you, it demands that you respond with power, wisdom, and precision. If you're careless, you'll waste energy fighting shadows. If you're strategic, you'll rise untouched while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own schemes. So here's the first decree you need to start declaring over your life. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment I will condemn. Say it out loud. Whisper it when you wake up. Declare it when you feel pressure. Because your words are not empty and they are weapons. They carve out protection in the spiritual realm. They shift atmospheres before your feet even enter a room. But don't stop there. Decree clarity over your relationships. Speak. Every counterfeit connection is removed, every hidden enemy is revealed, and every divine helper is released into my life now. Don't just think it. Speak it. Your voice carries authority, and authority commands alignment. Now let me give you a spiritual protocol for when the pressure intensifies. Step 1. Silence. Do not respond immediately to attacks. The enemy thrives on reaction. When you stay silent, you rob them of control. Step 2. Alignment. Return to prayer, scripture, or meditation. Reconnect with your source because clarity comes in stillness. Step 3. Decree. Once you are centered, speak what you desire to see. Call protection, call exposure, call provision. Step 4. Action. Move with wisdom, whether that means setting a boundary, seeking counsel, or cutting ties. Silence first, alignment second, decree third, action last. That's divine order. Let me ask you a piercing question. How many battles have you lost not because the enemy was stronger, but because you reacted too quickly? How many times did your emotions write checks your spirit didn't authorize? This is where maturity comes in. The glow isn't just about being seen, it's about being stable. The enemy expects you to lash out. They expect you to clap back, to defend, to get messy. Imagine their shock when you don't. Imagine their frustration when your silence speaks louder than their lies. But don't misunderstand me. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means you choose to fight in a higher court. You don't battle in gossip circles. You battle in the spirit, and in the spirit you never lose. Here's something powerful. The very exposure that feels uncomfortable right now is a setup for vindication. The same people who whispered behind your back will have to watch God elevate you publicly. The same mouths that lied on you will choke on the truth when your glow proves them wrong. Vindication is not always instant, but it is inevitable. And chosen one, you are in the season where God is preparing to make your vindication undeniable. But hear me. Vindication is not for revenge. It's for testimony. It's so that others can see the glory of God in your life and know that He fights for His chosen. That's why you can't get bitter. If you get bitter, you make it about you. Stay pure and it becomes about Him. Now let's go deeper. Your glow is not just exposing enemies, it's awakening purpose. Have you noticed how heavy the atmosphere feels lately? Like your spirit is stretching? That's because God is transitioning you from survival to assignment. The glow is not for show. It's for mission. Every exposed enemy is proof that you're crossing into a new dimension. They're surfacing because they sense you're about to step into territory they can't follow you into. And here's the mystery. The louder the enemies get, the closer your breakthrough is. Think about it. The enemy doesn't waste resources on someone who isn't a threat. They don't amplify warfare where nothing is at stake. If the battle feels intense, it's because the blessing is massive. Pause here. Let this sink in. Your glow is proof that your blessing is within reach. So what do you do while you wait for it to manifest? You fortify. You build discipline. You strengthen your routines. Because exposure is not just about removing enemies. It's about preparing you to steward the weight of the blessing that's coming. You can't carry destiny with shaky hands. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. This is where fasting, prayer, journaling, and deep focus matter most. They aren't religious checklists. They're training. They sharpen your hearing. They clear your vision. They keep your heart tender. And they keep you grounded when the elevation comes. And trust me, elevation is coming. But let me prepare you, elevation doesn't quiet your enemies. It multiplies them. When you rise, more eyes watch. More voices whisper. More hearts envy. But by then you'll be so secure in who you are and who backs you that their noise will sound like background static. Chosen one, your glow is disruptive on purpose. It's not meant to let everyone feel comfortable. It's meant to shift atmospheres, to challenge mediocrity, to wake people up. Don't dim it. Don't apologize for it. Don't negotiate it. Keep shining. Because very soon you will see the same enemies who tried to undermine you forced to admit they can't stop what God has started in you. And that moment, that undeniable turning point, is closer than you think. But before that moment arrives, there is one final exposure you must endure, and this one will test your heart more than any betrayal ever has. Chosen one, the final exposure isn't about enemies around you. It's about the enemy within, the one hidden in your habits, your fears, your unhealed wounds, that part of you that still craves validation from people who already betrayed you. That whisper inside that says, maybe if I dim just a little, they'll love me again. Maybe if I bend just a little, they'll stay. That right there is the last hidden enemy your glow will uncover. Because the truth is, no outside enemy has the power to destroy you unless the inside enemy agrees with them. That's why this season feels so heavy. It's not just about snakes in your circle. It's about shadows in your soul. And when your glow hits that shadow, the confrontation is unavoidable. God is not just exposing who's against you. He's exposing what inside you has been against yourself. The insecurity that made you over-explain. The fear of rejection that made you tolerate disrespect. The need for approval that kept you tied to toxic people. That's the enemy that must die now. Because your next level cannot carry old weakness. Let me ask you something raw. How many times did you ignore your spirit's warning just to keep the peace? How many times did you settle for half love, half support, half truth because you were afraid of standing alone? This is the season where you can't afford to do that anymore. Your glow won't allow it. Your light will burn away anything that doesn't align with it, even parts of you, and yes, that hurts. Because sometimes you'll grieve old versions of yourself the same way you grieve old relationships. You'll miss the you who could laugh and ignore the red flags. You'll miss the you who didn't carry the weight of responsibility. But chosen one, that old you had to die so the true you could emerge. Don't mourn the shell when the diamond has been revealed. Pause for a moment. If this resonates, let me know in the comments right now, because I know somebody's spirit is breaking open as these words hit them. This self-confrontation is the purest form of warfare, because when you conquer yourself, no outside enemy can conquer you. Betrayal loses its sting when validation no longer controls you. Gossip loses its grip when truth becomes your anchor. Envy can't distract you when you're locked into purpose. And suddenly all those hidden enemies that once looked so powerful become powerless. But this refining fire isn't easy. It feels like God is stripping everything at once. People leaving, habits breaking, silence surrounding you. That's not punishment. That's surgery. The glow is cutting away what can't survive in the next dimension. Don't resist it. Don't cling to what's being removed. Trust that what is dying in you is making space for what is eternal in you. Now let me reveal the paradox. While you're confronting your inner enemy, the outer ones will escalate. They'll sense the shift. They'll see you detaching. They'll feel the grip they had over your heart loosening. And that terrifies them, because once you're free inwardly, you can't be manipulated outwardly. That's why suddenly the calls increase. The fake apologies pour in. The smear campaigns intensify. It's all distraction designed to stop you from finishing the inner work. Don't fall for it. Stay locked in. Because the moment you complete this confrontation, everything shifts. You will walk differently, speak differently, decide differently, and the world will see it. That's when the glow goes from being noticed to being unstoppable. Chosen one, your glow isn't just light, it's fire. And fire doesn't just expose, it transforms. It turns weakness into strength, pain into wisdom, loss into fuel. That's what's happening right now. You're not just being exposed, you're being forged. And here's the part that will shock your enemies the most. The more they try to hurt you in this season, the stronger your glow becomes. Every attack is oxygen to your fire. Every lie is wood on your altar. Every betrayal is oil on your flame. They don't even realize they're feeding what they're trying to kill. That's divine irony. And soon, very soon, they'll realize that by exposing themselves, they disqualified themselves. They were never meant to walk into your next chapter. God let them stay long enough to teach you, but not long enough to destroy you. And when the tables turn, because they will turn, their exposure will be your evidence. Evidence that God was with you the whole time. Evidence that light always wins. Evidence that no hidden enemy can survive when destiny calls your name. But before that turning point comes, you must endure one last thing, the silence of God. That moment where you cry out and feel no answer, where you pray and hear nothing back, where you wonder if you're truly alone. Don't panic. That silence is not abandonment. It's graduation. It's proof that God trusts you enough to walk without constant reassurance. It's the test every chosen one faces right before breakthrough. Hold steady, because in the silence, heaven is moving. In the quiet, angels are positioning. In the stillness, doors are opening. And when the silence breaks, the sound will be undeniable. The sound of breakthrough, the sound of vindication, the sound of victory. Chosen One, your glow is doing more than exposing enemies. It's rewriting your story in real time. And what happens next will not only shock your enemies, it will shock you too. Chosen One, the silence is breaking. And when it breaks, it won't be a whisper, and it will be a roar. A roar of confirmation, a roar of vindication, a roar so loud that every hidden enemy who thought they could bury you will realize they were only planting you. You are about to emerge not as who you were, but as who you were always destined to be. This is the season where tables flip. Those who threw dirt on your name will have to witness your harvest sprouting through the soil they tried to bury you under. Those who schemed in the shadows will be forced to watch your light shine so brightly it blinds their lies. And the best part? You won't even have to defend yourself. God Himself is about to defend you. But here's the twist: vindication isn't about you clapping back. It's about God proving His word over your life. It's about Him using your story as evidence that He never leaves His chosen forsaken. When He lifts you, everyone who doubted you will have to admit, it wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It was divine favor. That's why this moment is bigger than you. It's kingdom business. Now let me give you a vision. Picture yourself walking into rooms that once rejected you, but this time they can't deny your presence. Imagine doors opening that no resume or degree could unlock. Imagine opportunities chasing you down instead of you chasing them. That's the season you're stepping into. Your glow isn't just light anymore, it's magnetism. It will draw resources, favor, and destiny connections straight into your path. Pause here. If you feel this in your spirit, drop a yes in the comments, because this isn't just words. This is prophecy. But don't think for a second your enemies will stay silent, no. Exposure makes them restless. Vindication makes them desperate. When they see your rise, some will scramble to rewrite history. They'll pretend they always believed in you. They'll try to re-enter your circle, not out of love, but out of fear of being left behind. That's why discernment is crucial right now. Not everyone who claps for your glow is clapping from a pure place. Some are clapping to stay close enough to sabotage. This is why God gave you the glow in the first place, not just to shine, but to reveal. Watch their body language, not their words. Watch their consistency, not their apologies. Watch their actions when you're absent, not their performance when you're present. Because vindication will draw both real allies and fake supporters. The glow is your filter. Trust it. And here's something deeper. Your vindication won't just silence enemies. It will activate watchers. People who've been quietly observing you from afar, unsure if your walk was real, will finally be convicted. They'll realize your faith wasn't for show. Your strength wasn't fake. Your growth wasn't a phase. And some of those watchers will be inspired to step into their own calling because of you. That's how powerful this glow is. It's contagious, but let me warn you, this is also the season of heavy responsibility. The glow demands stewardship. Vindication isn't just about rising, it's about sustaining. You can't return to old habits. You can't let old wounds dictate new decisions. You can't waste energy on proving points to people who've already been proven wrong. Your assignment now is to build, to plant, to multiply. And that's where the next test comes in. Because as much as exposure hurts, as much as vindication heals, success can be its own battlefield. When the spotlight grows, so does the pressure. When influence expands, so does temptation. And the enemy, though exposed, will still try to find cracks in your armor. That's why now more than ever, you must stay anchored. Anchor yourself in prayer, in discipline, in humility. Anchor yourself in service. Remember, your glow isn't just for you, it's for others. Anchor yourself in truth. The same truth that exposed your enemies will keep you from becoming one yourself. Chosen One, the next chapter is not survival. It's rulership. You are shifting from defense to dominion, from reacting to directing, from being attacked to being established. That's why the warfare was so intense. Because the throne being prepared for you is no ordinary seat. It's a position of influence that carries weight, responsibility, and legacy. And let me speak this over you. Every enemy that's been exposed will serve as a witness to this coronation. They'll know they can't stop it. They'll know they can't block it. They'll know the very glow they tried to extinguish became the flame that lit your destiny. So now prepare yourself, because the glow is not dimming, it's intensifying. And with it comes the fulfillment of promises you've been waiting on for years. The very things you cried for in silence are about to manifest in the open. The vindication won't just be felt, it will be seen. And no enemy, hidden or revealed, will be able to deny it. But here's the most shocking part. Your glow won't just expose enemies anymore. It's about to expose systems. Structures, organizations, environments that have thrived on corruption or manipulation are about to crumble because your light entered the space. You're not just transforming relationships, you're shifting atmospheres, flipping dynamics, rewriting narratives. That's the scale of what's happening now. Chosen one, you are stepping into a destiny that will not just change you, but change everything around you. And what comes next will demand every ounce of courage, focus, and faith you've built up in this season of exposure. Chosen one, let me tell you something that will shake you awake. The very enemies who once smirked at your downfall will now watch in silence as you rise into realms they cannot enter. They plotted in whispers, they gathered in secret, but their schemes collapsed because the light of God exposed them before they could strike. Your spiritual glow was the spotlight that revealed their shadows, and now those shadows scatter because they cannot survive the dawn you carry. This is why you've been feeling the intensity of spiritual warfare. Every setback, every strange delay, every sudden wave of heaviness, when it wasn't random. It was the desperate attempt of the enemy to extinguish the flame of your calling. But what they didn't realize is that your trials weren't breaking you. They were building you. The fire didn't consume you, it refined you. The storm didn't drown you, it cleansed you. The betrayal didn't bury you, it revealed you. And now the tables have turned. The same mouths that doubted you will have no choice but to witness your destiny unfolding. The same people who mocked your prayers will soon see the evidence of those prayers manifesting in ways that cannot be denied. The same ones who laughed at your faith will be forced to admit, there's something different about you. Something divine. Something unstoppable. Pause for a second. Doesn't it make sense now why you couldn't fit in? Why you couldn't stay in environments that suffocated your spirit? Why doors kept closing, even when you begged God to let them stay open? It's because God wasn't protecting you from rejection, He was protecting you from contamination. He was shielding your glow from being dimmed by the wrong atmosphere. Chosen one, your glow is not just beauty it's revelation. It's a spiritual announcement that you have been marked, sealed, and set apart. That's why people you barely know feel threatened by you. That's why envy rises even when you haven't done anything but exist. That's why some friends suddenly turned into strangers. Your light revealed their true colors before your eyes even caught it. But here's the powerful truth. Your enemies are not your problem anymore. They are God's evidence. Evidence of His covering. Evidence of His justice. Evidence of His promise that no weapon formed against you will prosper. They thought their silence meant victory, but their silence is actually surrender. Because when God elevates you, even your enemies will have to bow to the testimony of your life. Think about Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, forgotten in prison. Yet when his glow could no longer be hidden, he was elevated to power, and the same brothers had to come and bow before him. Think about David, overlooked and underestimated, but the oil still found him and the giant still fell before him. Think about Jesus, hated without cause, plotted against by those He came to save. Yet His resurrection silenced every accuser and exposed every enemy. That same pattern is unfolding in your life. Your glow is not for vanity, it is for victory. It is the beacon that proves darkness has lost its grip. And whether they admit it or not, every enemy that tried to curse you is now forced to sit back and watch the blessing unfold. But let me make this even clearer. Your rise isn't just about proving people wrong. That's too small. Your rise is about proving God right. It's about fulfilling every prophecy, every whispered word in your spirit, every late-night promise that you thought was just a dream. It's about becoming the evidence that God's word never fails. And this is why you must not dim your glow now. Don't play small to make others comfortable. Don't hide your calling because it makes others insecure. Don't silence your voice because it shakes the atmosphere. The glow was given to you for a reason, to expose, to heal, to guide, to conquer. Chosen one, the final act is here. You're walking into a season where nothing hidden will stay hidden. Every false friend will reveal themselves. Every hidden enemy will be exposed. Every lie spoken against you will collapse under the weight of truth. And your glow, the glow they tried to dim, will only grow brighter with every step you take. So walk boldly, walk fearlessly, walk knowing that heaven itself backs you. Because your story is no longer about pain, it's about power. No longer about loss, it's about legacy. No longer about enemies, it's about eternity. If you're still here listening, it's not by accident. This word found you because it was meant for you. And I need you to hear me clearly. Your glow is unstoppable, your enemies are defeated, and your future is secured. The battle is already won, the victory is already sealed, and the reward is already in motion. So shine, chosen one. Shine until every shadow flees. Shine until every enemy hides. Shine until the world has no choice but to recognize you are who God says you are. Now take a breath, lift your head, and step forward. Your glow has already spoken louder than their lies, and your destiny is about to silence them forever.